Yes, hello. Let me just pull up my screen here. All right, can you see that okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, awesome. So yes, as mentioned earlier, I will be talking about ShipBob today. So just to start, general overview of what ShipBob is. We're a global logistics platform that fulfills e-commerce orders for direct-to-consumer brands. So we have over 30 global fulfillment centers. We will integrate with the online marketplace for those direct-to-consumer orders. We also handle B2B fulfillment and retail drop shipping. Customization of packaging, gift notes, etc. 100% coverage for 2-day delivery, and we are a carbon neutral fulfillment service as well. But let's get into what we're here to chat about today. So we're going to talk about our top 5 holiday fulfillment tips. Over the last few years, there have definitely been clear trends that have impacted the fulfillment process and the global supply chain. In 2020, it was all about COVID, making sure that warehouses had the right staff or they were hiring to kind of handle the influx of orders. Last year, it was more about the supply chain and what goods are you able to get in time for the holidays? What's the cost to get them here and the timeline for that? And now in 2022, the trends really revolve around how to sell to more customers and expanding beyond direct to consumer. So we'll talk about these 5 tips here, starting with partnering with a 3PL in time for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. There's definitely a ton of benefits in doing this, but you want to be able to reduce peak season operational complexity, and that's something that a 3PL can definitely help with. Again, ton of benefits, starting with bringing 13% cost savings to your bottom line. Partnering with a 3PL opens a ton of doors. Maybe it's better shipping rates because you're leveraging their negotiated rates, or just overall increased visibility, just more opportunities to grow at scale. You're also going to be able to increase your average order value by utilizing a 3PL. You're able to kind of advertise and offer the fast shipping to meet those customer expectations, which will increase order value. Also utilize their kitting and bundled services to increase that order value, which will in turn reduce cart abandonment as well, because you're able to offer these things like quick shipping that customers are looking for. Saving time is a huge one. With a 3PL's management system, you're able to really forecast and plan inventory wise in a lot quicker and more efficient way than if you were doing it manually. Fulfilling international orders with less complexity, and then achieving cheaper 2-day delivery across the US. So we're able to place inventory closer to your customers because of our more locations, which will decrease shipping costs and increase the speed of the shipping, which is great. This is just a quick quote from one of our clients, TB12, that they experienced 4 times their normal volume last December, which was their second holiday season with ShipBob. So they definitely utilize the resources that we are able to give them to really experience that increased volume around the holidays. On to tip number 2, which is forecast demand and ordering inventory early. This is definitely one of the biggest challenges for e-commerce businesses these days, is to manage an increased order volume, which is usually around the holidays. So you want to be able to digitize your warehouse management. So making sure that you're able to forecast correctly, but also using it to identify any problems and make decisions in easier ways. Getting close or getting 100% accurate to your forecasting number is very difficult, but there's a few things you can do to really get as close as possible. So that includes looking at historical data and seasonality to really optimize stock level, what happened last holiday season or the year before that. You want to factor in promotions and high traffic days. Are you expecting a spike any day? What does that look like? You want to make early purchasing decisions. That way you can plan for any longer lead times. You also want to plan for additional shipping and fuel surcharges that are pretty common this time of year. And then establishing inventory, receiving and shipping cutoff dates. So making sure that any of your operational partners, you're well aware of any of their restrictions or cutoff dates during the holidays to make sure there's no surprises there. Tip number 3, selecting shipping options that increase sales. So being able to leverage shipping to meet customers' expectations. So here you can see a little screenshot of having product badging with the estimated shipping delivery date. So a shipping promise of when the customer will receive the order by. This really does a lot of things. It encourages repeat purchases because you're offering that competitive and fast, affordable shipping. You're going to convert more shoppers for sure by offering the 2-day badging and estimated delivery dates at checkout. This is like the number one thing people look for these days when deciding where to purchase from, is how quickly are they going to be able to get it. Most of the time, if they have 2 products that they're deciding between and they're very similar, they're going to go with the one that they'll receive sooner. So it'll definitely convert more sales and reduce cart abandonment as well. And then you can also use this to entice shoppers to spend more, right? If you want to put a unlock free 2-day shipping by using spend thresholds that are greater than your average order value, it's a great way to increase that AOV. This is something that our client I Love Plum did, and their average order volume increased for 97%. So it went from $75 to $148, which is just huge. Tip number 4, expanding your channel presence. So consumer shopping expectations and just the buying journey in general has changed, and you want to be able to meet your customers where they are, where they're shopping, in order to really stay competitive these days. So you really want to make sure you're thinking through your technology needs. Are you expanding to a new retailer or a sales channel? What does that process look like? Do you need to make sure to have certain integrations in place and test them before the holiday season? Just making sure you have all of your ducks in a row when it comes to the technology piece, but expanding your channel presence comes with a ton of benefits. Of course, you're going to have more chances to be discovered. So you're expanding your total addressable market. You're reaching more people. You're going to increase your average order value in general. And then you're going to drive loyalty through convenience and availability. If someone solely shops on maybe Amazon and Walmart, maybe they wouldn't have come across your product before. So it's just more ways to reach different audiences. And a pro tip here for global fulfillment: once you're with one ShipBob warehouse, it's super easy to expand to a second location. So it's very easy to test out new markets with a 3PL with low risk, because it's the same operational process as you're already using with ShipBob. And then tip number 5, fostering loyalty through customization. So being able to drive post-holiday retention by delivering a delightful last mile experience. This is something that's become increasingly important to really stand out, but whether it's custom packaging, free samples, shipping notifications to let your customers know exactly what's going on with their order, there's plenty of ways that you can really make a great last impression with your customer, which will lead to retention. And customization, it can be difficult to do at scale. You want to make sure that your customers, no matter where they're shopping from, they will have the same experience across the board. So you want to make sure it's consistent, which is where a 3PL can help. But benefits to customization, different things you can do. You want to leverage custom packaging, which you see here in this GIF. I'm sure you guys see this all the time on like TikTok, Instagram, people doing PR unboxes with all these fancy branded boxes. So you want to leverage that to drive retention, using shipping notifications to communicate with your customers and really build that relationship from when they purchase the item to when it's at their front door, just letting them know exactly where it is, so they don't have to come to you with questions. And then implementing custom subscription options or dynamic return solutions to increase revenue. Really doing whatever you can to make it personable and make the customer feel special. And fun tip, 40% of shoppers will share a product image on social if it comes in some sort of branded packaging. So great way to wrap up a good customer experience and also for brand awareness as well. We do also have one bonus tip here, which is to think sustainably. This is something that's increasingly important to customers as well. They want to make sure that brands they're buying from are doing their part to help the environment. And so they're really demanding socially conscious and environmentally sustainable practices from brands that they choose to shop from. So not only are you doing the right thing, but it also can increase lifetime value of 306%. So it's a great benefit as well, but different ways to be a more eco-friendly brand, offset shipping carbon emissions, use recyclable, compostable, reusable packaging, using AI to make smarter packaging decisions, making sure you're not over packaging things and using product you don't need. And then distribute inventory closer to customers to really decrease the distance of shipping to decrease those carbon emissions. And that's all things that a 3PL like ShipBob can help you achieve. So those are our tips. Get started with $500 in free shipping credits. You can go to this link right here, shipbob.com/loyaltylion. And this is my direct email as well. So if you have any questions, want to chat about anything that I brought up, I'm happy to do so.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Krista. I had to say delightful last mile is probably my phrase of the week. I'm going to be using that a lot.
Yeah.
Completely agree on the sustainability point as well. I'd have to look back into the blueprint for the actual stats, but we know that it's not something people are disregarding this Black Friday at all.
Definitely.
It's as important as price for a lot of people. So
definitely top of mind for sure.
Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much. We do have a question for you from an existing ShipBob customer, no less. What do you have any resources or features that you think people should be using to get more out of ShipBob if they are currently quite light users and not optimizing as much as they could?
Yeah, I think the number one thing right now would be the product badging for shipping delivery times, making that apparent. And that you would need to decentralize your inventory, which ShipBob can help you do. We can look at where your customers are located and then get inventory in those areas so that they're able to offer the quick shipping for not an expensive rate. So I would start with that because it is such a competitive edge, and it's what people are looking for when they're making decisions about what to buy.
Fantastic. That's great advice. Thank you so much. And ShipBob's prize winner, I'm quite jealous of this one, an adventure challenge book will be going to Tonia Meyer. So congratulations to Tonia. Thank you. Thanks so much, Krista. Next up, we have Rachel from Akendo.